Alright, welcome to a video on how to write viral short form video scripts. Now this video is for anyone who wants to script their short form videos, whether you're a creator, you're a business owner, you're a copywriter, anything like that, this video is going to help you. So if you're a copywriter and looking for work, you can actually apply below to work with me and my agency. I'm looking for scriptwriters right now, so if you're interested on that, there's opportunity to work there for work, as well as just learning more things and getting better at what you do. That's what my channel is about. I'm going to teach you a lot of that stuff and just give out a lot of free value to do with short form video, the algorithms, and scripting, stuff like that. So, like I said, this video is for anyone who wants to have an understanding of how to script their videos the right way and achieve virality. So why does scripting actually matter versus just winging it? So far too often I see extremely successful people on social media. I'm talking people making millions of dollars, or they're just extremely successful or good at what they do. And they give out a ton of free value. They're giving out value worth thousands for free on social media, but these videos are getting less than 1,000 views. And that obviously frustrates them. They're like, I'm giving out stuff that I normally charge thousands for, and no one even cares about it. Now, the reason this is happening is because this information isn't framed in the right way. So, for example, if you're giving out gold, but the person thinks it's shit, even though it's gold just covered in mud, they're going to walk right past you. And similar to this in content, the same thing happens. If you have a piece of golden information and people think it's shit, they're just going to swipe right past it. So we have to portray it to the viewer in all its glory and prove to them that it is in fact actually gold. That way, people actually watch it and you'll get more views, and you will no longer get less than 1,000 views on your video. So it's a common thing I see. That's why we script stuff and instead of just winging it. Now, what are we trying to achieve? What's the objective of scripting? So number one is to hook attention instantly. You would have heard this all the time. You need to hook your viewers. You got 3 seconds before they swipe off, and it's true. But what people don't actually tell you as well is what's even more important than hooking someone is retaining them as well. A hook is great if it can grab attention, but if it doesn't promote watch time and push the viewer to the end, the video will still flop. And the reason for this is because the biggest metric behind videos going viral is average watch time and high retention, which is the same thing. It's just two words to describe the same thing. Basically, the longer people stay on the app, the more ads they watch and the more money TikTok, Instagram, and all these short form platforms, the more money they make. So naturally it makes sense for them to push videos that have high watch times because it results in longer user sessions. So when you know that, you work out that the algorithm is just a science, that we got to reverse engineer retention. And when you do that, you'll start getting more views on your video. It's quite simple. The second thing is obviously maintaining engagement / retention. So in our scripts, we want slippery slopes that flow well from start to finish. Now, I like to say when I'm writing scripts, I almost visualize like a tennis rally. Like, you know, a satisfying tennis rally, they're going back and forth. The people watching are just going back and forth. And it's just satisfying to watch. You kind of get immersed in the game and it just flows like that. That's what I try to aim for with scripts. The most perfect videos go back and forth and are satisfying to sit through. It's almost like you get immersed in them like a tennis rally. Now, like a good example is like videos that may be a minute long, but they feel like 10 seconds just because it's so engaging. You just lose track of time and it's so easy to go through and watch the full video. They're the best types of videos. So that's what we try to achieve with script writing. Like I was saying before, reverse engineering the short form algorithm. The main metric to go viral is high retention / watch time. So when we know this, we just have to reverse engineer the algorithm within our scripts in order to hit this metric. So we have multiple different frameworks that we use at my agency in order to achieve this. But the reality of it is those frameworks are just built because they're ways of achieving high watch time. They're structured in a way to do that. But you don't necessarily need the frameworks. You just need to create scripts or create videos that achieve high watch time. Whatever it takes to get high watch time or high retention, that's what you need to do in order to get more views. I see a lot of people complaining they put their heart and soul into, and this is the harsh truth with social media, they put their heart and soul into like montages and high level edits and stuff like that, and people just like, they don't watch all the way through the end, and that's the reason why they're not going viral. It's not the algorithm hates you, it's just you're not doing what users want. And unfortunately, your real estate montages walking through a crazy home is just not entertaining to people. That's not what they see as entertainment anymore in short form videos. So you just have to be And we'll dive deeper into this in mindset and psychology. I'll keep going. But number 4 is drive a transformational insight. So if we are writing for a business, a coach, a service provider, or you are one, our objective is to show expertise and establish trust with the viewer. We want to become the number 1 figurehead in our industry/niche, and we want to help viewers through education/providing our value. So that's just on top of all the retention hacks and stuff like that, and doing things to meet the algorithm. If we're doing it for these objectives, like, we obviously want to do more than just get views. Like, there's nothing worse than someone that just gets millions of views but they're broke. Like, what's the point? We're just posting video for no money. Like, we're still eating fucking cans of tuna. Like, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to create views and get more views in order to turn that into a profit. We're not trying to just get views for the sake of getting views. So that's something. We'd rather get 10,000 views on a video that converts 3 people and makes 10 grand than get 1 million views and no one actually cares about your business. They just find your videos funny. Like, that's not what we're trying to do. Like, we want to become the number 1 figurehead in our industry/niche with whoever we work with, or if this is you doing it for yourself, that's what you should be aiming to do. Whenever someone thinks or is in the market for what you provide, they should be thinking of you. That's what you should be trying to achieve with your short form video content. And then obviously we're trying to achieve generating more traffic and conversions to sales. So we want to generate lots of views. Like I said, with intention, we want to convert this to sales. We want to use many chat CTAs, stories, or broadcast channels to actually convert these viewers when we have the traffic. So that's the objective of scripting. Now, the rest of this video, we will cover how to actually write the scripts. But before we even get into that, I think it's really important to go over mindset and psychology behind actually creating content. Now, the biggest thing I always tell my clients and people around me is you have to be emotionless when creating content. No one actually cares about you/your client. And the reason I say this is because when people are scrolling social media, they're not waiting. They're like, oh, like, I hope I find out what this guy has to say. They don't care. They're on to the next video. They're swiping. They're just looking for the next hit of dopamine. So unless there is a trade-off between value for their time, so their time at this point is extremely, extremely valuable. They're just looking for, like, it's almost like a crack addict. They're just looking for the next hit. That's all they're looking for. They're not looking for you to say, hey guys, I just opened my new fish and chip shop, like, come check it out. Like, they are gone instantly. They don't care. They're just looking to laugh, be entertained, be on the next thing. So the viewer will not watch if there's not a trade-off between value for their time. You have to have something that is very valuable that's going to trade someone in their most dopamine desperate part of their day for them to actually watch. So keep that in mind. Another thing is you want to keep things clear, digestible, and understandable. This is a big problem I see with people when creating content is they make content and they understand what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about, but that's such a biased point of view and biased perspective on creating content because, of course, you know what it is, but does anyone, like an unsuspecting viewer, actually understand what you're talking about? If they don't, they're just going to get confused and swipe off to the next video. So you need to make things clear, digestible, and understandable. If you're, say, a lawyer, for example, you exist because you know what people don't. Say in terms of like lawyer knowledge, you're at the top here. This is an example. You're at the top here of lawyer knowledge. Your clients are down here. They have no idea about the law. That's why they pay you to do what you do. So if you're creating content at a level that's speaking at lawyer knowledge expertise of level 100, your clients are at level 1. How are they going to understand the jargon and the language you're using at level 100? They don't pay you. They don't pay you because they know that. What am I trying to say? They pay you because they know you know level 100 lawyer knowledge. They don't. So if you create content at this level, they're not going to understand you. You have to dumb it down and bring it back to their level of who your customer actually is, who your client is. So moving on to psychology. Now, like I said, the number 1 reason behind videos going viral is retention/watch time. Like I said, the more users stay on the app, the more ads they watch, the more money the platform makes. Therefore, they push videos that keep users on the app for longer. Knowing this, all we have to do is reverse engineer these metrics and come up with ways to meet this requirement. This is effectively done through scripting. We use numerous frameworks designed to meet what the algorithm wants to see. Mindset again, but the algorithm is literally a robot. It has no emotion. So the algorithm does not hate you. There's a lot of people that put out content like, oh, I'm shadow banned, like the algorithm hates me, like they just don't like my content. Well, no, it's a robot with no emotion. They have no basis of They can't understand, oh, like I actually don't like this person, let's not push their videos. Like it's not that. They go simply off user behavior and user activity around your video. If people are watching your video for a long time, they're going to say, hey, the algorithm goes, hey, the users on this video are watching for a long time. Let's push it to more people and test if these people watch it for a long time. And then these people watch it for a long time. Let's push it to more because it's probably a good video because people are watching for a long time. So you simply have to get good at creating videos structured around keeping your viewers retained and watching for long periods of time. This tells the algorithm you have a good video. And then selling and converting. So you can use all tricks like ManyChat, comment the word X in your content to convert. This is really effective. Like it works well because when people are scrolling in this phase, like they're not really going to give up that time as much as you think to go out of their way to follow, like, and view your story and then check out your email. They're not going to do that. They're there to scroll and get that next dopamine hit. So you have to be doing things that is like very low in friction. That's why ManyChat works so well. They just comment a video and then they get sent something and they're still scrolling. Like they just comment and it gets sent to their inbox whilst they're still, like there's no break in their scroll. However, the main priority / focus should be becoming number one in your field. So the reason I say that is like, what it should be is like whenever someone is in the market for whatever you provide, whether that be like for a fitness trainer, they're in the market to lose weight. They've finally decided, hey, I want to lose weight. They should instantly think of you as the person to go buy off. And the reason you do that, the way you achieve this is by taking the time to learn how to actually generate more views and post consistently, and you'll subconsciously exist in the customer's mind. A good example of this is I have a client who sells watches in Australia. And what we do is we post a negotiation video every day. We don't create videos saying, hey, like come buy this Submariner Rolex and I've got it for a good price. Like no one cares about that. We post videos that are entertaining, negotiation content, watch education, stuff like that. Now, whenever someone in Australia is in the market to buy a watch, they immediately think of my client just because he's popped up on this person's feed every single day. So subconsciously, they're like, oh, I want to watch. Who should I buy off? Cal Best. Like I've seen him every day. He's the watch dealer. He's the watch guy. So that's what you want to be aiming towards. And that's how you're going to get more sales out of it. And like I said, I say this because it is so hard to sell someone during their phase of scrolling. So let's move on. Now, how to get good at script writing. Now, you got to understand that virality isn't a fluke, it's a science. I see a lot of people messaging me and asking me things like, man, the algorithm hates me. Like I don't believe in the algorithm. It's bullshit. Like it doesn't work. But it's just not the case. It's not the case. No matter how ridiculous a video seems, there is always data to support why it went viral. Like you may see some stupid shit online that makes no sense. It's like got millions of views, but there's always a reason why. Like whether it's got high watch time or it's been shared to millions of people, there's a reason why it's gone viral. It's not a fluke. And what I'm trying to say here is if you learn the science, you will go viral. Another thing is to get good at script writing is repetition and a lot of it. Like it's like anything. You wouldn't go into boxing as a rookie and expect to beat some pro boxer. You have to do it over and over and over again to actually get good at it. There's no different here. It's going to be like anything. On top of that though, you want feedback loops. So you want to put content out there and use the performance and retention graphs from these videos to actually have a basis of feedback / what you need to improve on. If you're just writing scripts with no feedback, then that's obviously an issue because how do you know if you're getting good or not? And the easiest way to do this is to just put content out, test your script writing. If you put out a script and it doesn't perform, you look at, okay, why didn't it perform? What went wrong here? What do I need to clean up in my script? Is it the idea? Is it the flow? Is it the hook? Is it the way I ended it? Did I drag it out too long? There's always going to be an answer for why it didn't perform. So you need to get as many feedback loops as possible. When I first started, I started in clipping. So I'd make short form clips for people like YouTubers, podcasts. So I'd sit at the back of the production line and I'd create clips and post them across social media. I was posting like 30 videos a day at one point. Now, on every 30 videos, I'd review why did it work, why didn't it work? And I'd work out to a T what was required, what the algorithm actually wanted in order to go viral. So you need to be getting these feedback loops. Another good way of getting good at script writing is just read / note down good scripts. understand their flow, how they are written, the structure, the video ideas. All these things play a big part. So you want to be looking at good scripts. Easy way to do this is just identify videos that have done millions of views online, take the transcript from it and analyze it. See how they positioned their wording, their explanation, their solutions, whatever it is, there's going to be something you can find out of that. So that's another great way. A great understanding of the goal of what you are writing is essential as well. So if you're a copywriter, if you're a scriptwriter, you obviously want to know your client's goal of creating social media content. So if it's to educate viewers on solving back pain and convert that into clients, if you've got it like a chiropractor, that's one of their goals, is to educate viewers and then be seen as someone that knows how to solve back pain, and that's going to convert into something. If you're just talking about random chiropractic stuff and it's not relevant to what your intentions are with your business or with the client's businesses, then there's no point as well. So that's another big thing to note to get good at script writing. Okay, the next phase of this is research. So this is the first part of script writing and arguably the most important part. And the reason I say this is because without a viral video, your video will simply not go viral. If no one cares about what you're talking about, no matter how good your script flows, no matter how good no matter how many retention hacks you use, it just won't go viral because no one cares about what you're saying. So you need to make sure you have a viral video idea. So it is important to research within your client's niche to see what is performing well and what video ideas have gained traction. By conducting this, your script writing process will be 10 times easier. So as a scriptwriter, it is essential to do this in order to understand your client and their industry. So you want to be looking at videos online, like I do a how here, but you basically want to be looking at videos online within that industry. Whether you've got a fitness trainer, you want to look at what competitors are posting about, what they're making content on, how they're doing it. You want to have a good grasp of this in your mind. That way you can look at, okay, what do viewers in this industry, what do viewers in my niche actually care about? What do they like seeing, and how can we replicate this or imitate this within our own clients or our own content? Another way you do that is just coming up with your own ideas. So a way you come up with your own ideas is just having a good grasp of the industry. If you understand your client and understand your client's clients or the customers within that industry, you'll know what their pain and desires are, and you know what they want to hear videos about, and you know how to solve what their problems are. If you create content around their problems, that's going to be something they're interested in. If they're someone who's overweight and want to lose weight, you give them solutions to that. That's going to be stuff they're interested in. Another way of doing it is just looking at comment sections in TikTok comment sections or Instagram and just seeing what people are asking. That's another way to research ideas. Obviously, I just said you want to understand your audience's pain and desires, as that's going to be one of the most important parts about creating content. If you're not targeting this, then people they're not going to care about what you have to say. Now, this does not mean stealing the video and copying word for word. It is simply taking a proven viral idea and creating a video around that. We're not taking a script and just taking a video idea and then taking the full script and just refilming it. Don't do that. It's not ethical, and I don't think it would work anyway, because if that video is going viral for that reason, you're just copying something that's not going to be as good. So keep that in mind. You want to steal like an artist. Take video ideas that people care about and just make content that's better. Now, how do we do this? You need to scrape keywords through ChatGPT relative to the industry/niche. So what you can do is just simply prompt ChatGPT and say, hey, my client or my industry is X, and can you give me a bunch of keywords I can search across social media that are relative to this industry/niche? Then you obviously want to search those keywords across social media, and you want to build a Google Sheet to collect that data and retain that data. Now, this is basically what it looks like. You have video links, so you want to obviously attach your video links here. You want to note down the hooks. I like to do this just to see what people are saying to start off their video that's causing these videos to go viral. There's types of videos, so it could be tips and tricks, storytelling, facts, role play, entertainment, personal, or other. You can add more different types of video orientation, how many views it's got, how many likes, how many comments, and any notes to do with it. And then obviously you can tick off if you use this one or not. But that's just a good way to scrape data and collect viral videos. Another way to look, if you're a scriptwriter, another way to look if your client already has existing content, look through this to understand tonality, personality, and mannerisms, as well as understanding how they think. It's quite common to work with clients that have a vast array of knowledge and are extremely successful. But like I said in the beginning, in the introduction, this does not necessarily translate to views. So that's where we step in. Now, what I mean by this and why it's important is they may say something that you're like, you actually watch the video because you know your client has something good to offer and you know it's of high value. So all you have to do is take what they're saying and repackage it in a way that's optimized to go viral. That way, more people are going to see this value because this value is actually good. It just needs to be framed in the right way. If you're unfamiliar with the industry/niche, use ChatGPT to summarize and ask any questions to catch up to speed. Like if you're in, I don't know, the law industry or something, you're creating content for a lawyer, you obviously need to catch up to speed with anything to do with the industry to actually be able to script write effectively within this. You also want to use comment sections from existing videos to generate content ideas. That's another easy way to scrape proven viral ideas. Now what? Yeah, so what we're looking for, we want to look for what's performing well, what video ideas are popular that can be revamped, how competitors are structuring their content. High views equals good scripts. So we want to understand proven scripts more. We want to look at how these scripts are working. The more content you can look at that is good, the more you'll understand, okay, what is necessary in order to create a script that performs well. And you obviously want to collect general understanding of the niche when researching. Now, the next part is the fun one, how to actually script write, the next most important part. Obviously, if you have a good idea, you need to package it in a way that makes sense and people actually want to watch it and watch the whole video. So the first part of this is you want to look through your Google Sheet, which is this one, and any notes you have on your industry/niche for ideas. You want to take the ones you believe will be the most viral to write scripts on. And so for example, if we're looking in the finance and budgeting niche, a video idea could be, most people think budgeting means cutting out everything fun. The second part is generating hooks. So we like to start off with generating the hooks for the script as it determines the direction and overarching theme of the video. I think if you don't start off with a clear understanding, with a clear hook, then when you script write, it's just going to go like you might have intentions to make the script here, and as you're writing, it just goes off here. And then you get to the end of the script, and you're like, wow, this is not what I intended to do whatsoever. So it's important to have a strong hook to start off with and a good understanding of where we're actually heading with this script when we write it. So each framework I have down here has examples of different hooks that can be used, or there's this list of viral hooks here that I have. There's a whole bunch here that I just have a library of that have already performed, which I just use. So an example of this is, for this one is, most people think budgeting means cutting out everything fun, but here's how you can save money without feeling broke. So that's a good hook there. It's to do with the pain to drain transformation framework. We're targeting viewers' pain here, cutting out everything fun when budgeting. So that's something people struggle with. They don't like to budget because it means they can't have fun. So we promise a dream solution for this person, which is save money without feeling broke. So they don't have to cut out everything from everything fun, and they can still save money. So what you should have in your hook is it should grab attention and it should set context abundantly clear. Now that's really important. I'm going to highlight that one. Abundantly clear on what the video is about. Like I said, if your viewer gets confused at any part of your video, they're more likely to swipe off, especially in the hook. If they have no idea what they're going to gain out of watching your video, they're just going to swipe off. Like, it's too confusing. You obviously want to portray some sort of value for the viewer, and you want to push them to watch further, if not to the end of the video. Now, the next is the sequencing of the script. Now, these are some things you want to ask before writing your scripts. So what's the purpose of the script? What are we actually trying to achieve with this script? Why should people watch the video? What's the value/benefit they'll receive? And are you going to use one of the frameworks? Now, like I said, I obviously know what's required from the algorithm, what the algorithm wants to see. Like, they want to see high watch time, they want to see retention, they want to see viewers watching from the start to the finish. So we just build frameworks that are optimized to do exactly that. However, you don't necessarily need to use one of these frameworks. As long as your video script is meeting the requirements of equaling a high watch time, then the frameworks aren't completely necessary. I think a lot of the time I'll use hybrids, like I might use a myth debunk into a listicle, or I'll just cross over them here and there. As long as we're getting viewers from the start to the finish, then that's exactly what we want to do. The next is obviously beginning your script. So we want to start off with your hook. You want to gain intention and stop the scroll. You want to portray value proposition and gain for viewer what they'll actually receive from watching the video. You want to create a curiosity loop, and you want to push them to watch to the end of the video. Like I said, it should be extremely clear, and context of video cannot be misunderstood. So the viewer must know exactly what's in it for them by watching this video. The next is the body. So we want to transition from the hook straight into body and continuing the promise made in hook. This should drag viewer more and more into the video, should be easy to digest and follow along. It should be maintaining interest on solution whilst not paying off completely. So you want to drip feed to keep them within the video. If we have something like this, for example, like if we were to make a script around this and the next line straight after would be the solution to that, then there's no reason to watch the rest of the video. If there's another 30 seconds after that, the video is going to be shot. Like it's going to be dead because there's no reason to watch the other 25 seconds. You've solved it in the first 5. So you need to drip feed your solution throughout the video and slowly push the viewer towards your solution. So in saying that, the script should flow really smoothly. Like I said, I like to visualize a tennis rally within my head whilst reading the script. I like it to go back and forth and back and forth. And it should just be satisfying, almost like I said, watching a tennis rally go back and forth. It should build closer and closer to payoff listed in the hook, but delaying as long as possible whilst maintaining retention. So we don't want to just like edge the viewer and not pay it off to the point where they're like, well, fuck this. Like, you're not giving me anything. Like, I'm not staying around to the end to hear what you have to say. You're not entertaining me throughout the body part of the video. So you want to make sure it's still engaging throughout the middle. It should also end with a closing statement, either a punchy line or something that summarizes the full script and reminds the viewer of why they watched in the first place, or you can include a CTA if need be. Now, like I said, to consider, everything isn't set in stone. So frameworks can mold and bend. You might use hybrids, like I say. I might use multiple frameworks at once. As long as the script comes down to the same principles. If I saw this video pop up and I heard the hook, would it grab my attention and would I stay? So you have to be emotionless with the videos you create. You have to look at them from a non-biased perspective, because of course you're going to love the videos you make. Like, it's yours. You're like, oh, I love this shit. But would anyone else care about it? Like, you have to look at it from a third perspective, a third point of view, and say, hey, if this actually popped up, would I really watch it? Like, would I listen to this script? So sometimes you are working in a client's industry which you do not care for. In that case, make an unbiased decision as to if you're interested in that field. Now, what I mean by that is, if you're talking about real estate and you don't care about real estate, naturally, if a real estate video popped up when you're scrolling, you wouldn't watch it anyway. So in this instance, you have to imagine yourself as someone who loves real estate and say, hey, if I loved real estate, would this be a video I watched? So keep that in mind. Another thing to consider is the value proposition strong enough? From the hook, is it like, should I really trade my time as a viewer to watch this video? Like, is it going to be good enough value in there for me? So that's something to consider as well. Another thing is, does the video delay a payoff and keep viewers interested and retained until the end? And will this video equal high watch time? So it's very important, like I said, to be emotionless with your video. Look at it through an unbiased perspective and say, hey, would I actually watch this video? So as long as you're building your script around these principles and achieving high watch time, then you can do whatever is necessary to achieve this. Now, let's look at an example of how I would go about this and actually writing a script. So first and foremost, I do the niche and then the video idea. So we've got, most people think budgeting means cutting out everything fun. Now, what's the purpose of this script? So I want to educate viewers on how they can still save money whilst enjoying themselves and not having to live a boring life. Like, that's a dream outcome for someone. They can still save money, but they don't have to give out going out for dinner with their girlfriends or whatever it is on the weekends. Now, why should people watch the video? What's the value/benefit they'll receive? Now, they will learn that their common way of thinking is holding them back, meaning that they think that budgeting means they can't have fun, which is not true. That's what we're going to debunk within this video script. And the benefit they'll get is having money at the end of the month without having to cut out fun things and feeling broke. Are you going to use one of the frameworks? Yes, I'm going to use a pain to dream transformation. Now, this is how my script goes. Another thing you want to do in script writing is you want to read it out out loud. I think that helps me a lot to actually understand the flow as well. And it makes a whole lot more sense because you can tend to write things and they'll make sense when reading in your head, but when you actually say it out loud, you catch things that are like, oh, that's actually a bit difficult to say. So if you're recording the script or you have a client recording it, you avoid that problem when filming because you've read it out loud and you know that, okay, this is easy to say out loud. So most people think budgeting means cutting out everything fun, but here's how you can save money without feeling broke. I used to think saving money meant giving up everything I enjoyed. No more coffee, no more dinners out, no more fun. So I tried extreme budgeting, cutting out everything unnecessary. And guess what? I felt miserable and I was still broke. So that's explain / the problem. We're explaining this part of it. That's the old way of thinking. That's the pain state of this framework. Now the transformation is, then I realized the problem wasn't how much I was spending. It was how I was managing my money. Because if your budget makes you feel deprived and miserable, you will never stick to it. So take note here, we still haven't given the solution to saving money without feeling broke. We've just amplified the problem and then promised again in the transformation that, okay, there's a way we solve this. There's a way we solve this problem. Like the viewer right now would be like, yeah, I relate to this. Like this is me right now and I hate it and I don't like doing it. And I still have no money and I still can't save and I still can't budget because I hate this. I hate having to save money because I can't go out. So we haven't solved that yet, but we keep promising that, hang on, you're going to get this solved. So then we go into the actionable solution. So instead of cutting everything, I started doing these 3 simple things and I was finally happy and not broke each month. So reiterating the whole idea of this script is not cutting out everything fun, not feeling broke and saving money. So instead of cutting everything, I started doing these 3 simple things and I was finally happy and not broke each month. I was tracking, so these 3 things were tracking where my money was actually going. You'd be shocked to see how much money disappears on random expenses. Setting a fun spending budget. So these are all, we've got 1, 2, and 3. So I'll start again. Tracking where my money was actually going. Now when we edit this, we break it up a bit more to make it clear that these are the steps being taken. It doesn't look like that on paper, but when we edit it, it will be cleaned up a bit. So the first one is tracking where my money was actually going. You'd be shocked to see how much money disappears on random expenses. Next, I'd setting a fun spending budget so I can enjoy life without feeling guilty every time I tap my card. Automating savings so I didn't have to think about it. Every time I received a payment, it would automatically go into various different accounts. And then the closing state was, and as a result, I was saving hundreds every month without feeling miserable and guilty. So this just closes everything off. Now for these, you can add like number 1, number 2, number 3 if you want. That would make more sense when you're reading it out loud. However, when you're editing this, you can break it up to make it clear. Like I'd honestly like put a new B-roll frame or something like that to make the viewer aware, okay, this is the tactic, this is the solution, this is one of the 3 things. But yeah, you can do either or. It doesn't really matter. You can say number 1, tracking where my money was actually going. It's up to you. But you can see in the closing statement, it's kind of just like the bow tie, wrapping up the gift, wrapping up the package. It's just summarizing what the whole purpose of the video is and what they get out of this. So it's really important. This is what I mean by drip feeding a solution. You hook them in with a relatable pain state they're in and where they want to be, explaining that pain state and promising a transformation to that dream state, and then actually providing them with actionable steps to get to that dream state. So that's an example of how you can write a short form video script. Now I will have a lot more videos on my channel of these frameworks, which I'll be filming over the week, so you can check them out. There'll be plenty of that stuff on my channel, but that's just one example of how you can do the pain to dream transformation, or how you can build a script that is framed in a way to meet that high watch time. Now, the third step and final step of script writing is reviewing. So the best and most unbiased work is done with a clear mind. So when you write your scripts, after you finish them, take a break without screens. Don't go outside and fucking zap your mind again with more screens. Go outside and look at the sun or do something like that. I spend like 5 minutes after each script I write and come back and look at it with an unbiased point of view, with a clear mind, with the purpose of making the script better. So you want to read it out loud. Like I said, you'll catch a lot of things that don't flow well by doing this. You can also use Hemingway app. This is a great website where you can literally input your script into here and it will give you a readability grade. Like I mentioned with that lawyer thing, you don't want to be talking at lawyer level 100. You want to be talking at level lawyer 100, level lawyer 1. You want to be talking at that bottom level where your customer actually is. Now, a good way of doing this is having a readability grade of around 5 to 7, depending on what industry you're in, but you want to keep it quite low because viewers, when they're scrolling, they're quite dumb. Like, you have to make it really clear for them. So you want to have a low readability grade for this, just to make it really digestible and understandable. That's how you get people to watch your videos all the way through. You want to cut any redundant parts. Sometimes I find myself saying multiple things that are said in a similar way. So you can they're redundant. So sometimes you'll have, 2 to 4 sentences which pretty much say the same thing, and you can really just condense it down to 1 to 2, which is the less we say is better. Another thing is the video rewatchable, shareable, savable? That's a good metric that just helps us push the video out more. Does it meet the context/value proposition that was set in the hook? So we want to make sure that it's, like I said, when we set that hook in the beginning, we want to make sure we pay off on whatever we set context for. If we're veering off that, then it's just not going to lead to a good video and viewers will get confused. And like I said, the closing statement, does the ending summarize this? So that's the whole review part. Honestly, I can't believe I just spent 38 minutes on this, or 36. But that's a whole breakdown on how to write viral short form video scripts. Now, this is a very overarching kind of analysis and breakdown. I will have plenty more videos coming on more in detail. Like, I'll be making videos specifically around each framework and stuff like that and getting more nitty gritty into things. But this is a good basis to work off of. If you enjoyed this type of content, subscribe. I'll have plenty of more stuff to come. Comment what you actually want to see, because I have a short list of videos I'll make, but if you have anything else you want to see from me, I'm more than happy to make content on this. And like I said, if you're a script writer looking for work, apply in the description. There'll be a description where you can apply to work with me. I'm looking for plenty of you guys. So if you're good, you can write good scripts, apply there. But yeah, hope this helped you. Hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments what other content you want to see.